G'day guys, welcome back. My name is Wildkard. Yes, the Wallaby season has just started and of course, everybody's already angry and disappointed. Just like every freaking year with the Wallabies, people are already disappointed before the kickoff and so am I, right? So am I. I think one of the biggest robberies in terms of, selections is obviously right here on the screen. Salakaia-Loto. This guy's been just outstanding, right? I know for a fact that he should be in the Wallabies because I watch every freaking game, and every game he's on the field, he asserted himself, put his body on the line, and just absolutely dominated everything that he could. And this is one thing. And there's something really special about this guy because it doesn't matter. It does not matter how good the Reds is going. It does not matter what's happening on the field. He always asserted his dominance on the field and did the best that he could. I still remember the first game. Reds versus the Waratahs. The Reds were looking horrendous in that game. They lost the Waratahs in the opening match, and it was a sloppy kind of game for both teams, and the Reds lost. And Salakaia-Loto was the only one in the Reds team. Just gave it all. Just hammered it away, regardless of what's happening. And when he finished and walked on field, including myself, people got up and gave him a round of applause from the opposition fans, right? And it's just... It is that sort of character that you really want for an international test team as your backbone, right? People who's not going to shy away from tough games, who's not going to shy away just because, things aren't going your way, who's going to just get their head down and grind their way through regardless of what is happening. That's the kind of player that you want in your team. And for some reason, the Wallabies coach, everybody can see it. Everybody in Australia and their pets and cows and dogs can see it. And somehow the Wallabies selectors thought, hey, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this, Champion Decryptony is somehow ahead of him, right? I don't know. I have no problem with younger players like Miles Matasero or what's the Canaan. They're fine because you're building for the future, right? I'm fine with that one. But I don't see how Salakaia-Loto is selected. I don't see how Champion Decryptony is selected ahead of Salakaia-Loto here. So yeah, let me know. I don't know what's going on. Someone might, tell me your thesis, why this is being selected. Maybe you have inside information that we don't know about. Please share. But for me, just like I think everybody that is furious right now in the world of Australian rugby, I think this is a really, really terrible omission for the Wallabies squad. But anyway, it is just like the perfect start that everybody's looking for, right? The Wallabies not able to select the one of the clearest, toughest players on the field, setting off Instagram storm or whatever. It's just unbelievable, right? Just unbelievable. Anyway, there is a few, in addition to that, there's obviously a few players that's not available due to injury. Big Willie, one of my favorite players. Will Skelton's not available due to an injury. Zach Lomax apparently has a tight leg or something and he's not able to be selected as well. So neither of them are selected. A couple of disappointments for me. Fezler, I don't know how they didn't select him. I'm surprised that any of the Brumbies hookers got selected, considering how absolutely atrocious their lineout has been, especially towards the end of the last 2 months. In the end of the season was just you're barely scraping 50% there. So I don't know how Fezler's not selected. Maybe he's injured. I don't think he's injured. And then we've got Sid Harvey not getting a nod here. Another bit of a surprise. I thought he's been absolutely outstanding for the Waratahs and a good goal kicker as well. And we, quite frankly, outside of Donaldson, we don't really have that great of a goal kickers. Lonergan is okay, but I wouldn't. It's not not 100%. The level that you want to be at a little bit more than that for goal kicking, and Carter Gordon doesn't want to kick, so I don't get it. Like, if you don't want to kick, like, what's going on? Like, you're looking at the Wallabies and you don't want to kick goals as a fly half. Like, come on, man. Like, anyway, so that's another disappointment. I thought Sid Harvey probably deserved it a little bit, and a number of the Brumbies players, I just want to say ahead, are not selected in my team because I don't think they have been performing to the levels that is deserving to be the Wallabies. And I am going to give some of the younger players an opportunity as well, in my opinion, who deserve a run and ahead of some of the older players. And you can disagree with me all you want. Feel free to argue with me in the comments, but that is my decision, right? I want to give some of the younger players who did really well in Super Rugby an opportunity in my starting 23, and some of the older Bulls who hasn't delivered, who's been probably living on their glory days a little bit. I'm putting them out of the team, and that is just my selection criteria, right? I want to reward younger talents who's hungry and wanting to make a name for themselves. And if you don't disagree, let me know, right? And show me the stats. Anyway, let's talk about my starting 23 for the Wallabies in the November Test series. Oh, I'm already down, like, because Salakaia-Loto is not selected. It's just a bit of a joke. But anyway, with the players that are available, right, that has been announced. Here's my 23 for the Wallabies. Coming back home from overseas, was had an outstanding season in Ulster. Is it Ulster? Yeah, Ulster in Ireland. Angus Bell comes in at number 1 for me. He's just been amazing. Number 2, Brendan Panga-Amosa. So this is something that I actually have to look up a bunch of stats to see how the lineouts are going. The most consistent lineout out of all the Super Rugby teams is the Western Force, and Panga-Amosa has the highest rate. Like it or not, so he's starting at number 2 for me. And the Brumbies just, yeah. Anyway, not selected at all for me. So Brendan Panga-Amosa comes in number 2. Alan Alatoa comes in number 3. Now, I do have he's been injured for quite a bit. I do have a little bit of, a concern on his scrummaging. But I think that he, knowing that what he has delivered for us in the past, I think he can get that polished up a bit and get the game down. But so I have Alan Alatoa at the tight head prop ahead of Tupou, right? I think Alan Alatoa, the AAA comes in at number 3 for me. Coming number 4, Jeremy Williams, the best lock, especially when it comes to lineouts. Again, with the Panga-Amosa combination, it's just too good to not put him on the field. I think he's just basically, he's the best. He's the best lock for us, especially in that set piece execution line out. The more, no question here. Jeremy Williams comes in, and also the disruption that he brings as well comes in at number 4 for me. Coming number 5, Tom Hooper coming back overseas. He just played the English Gal Prem finals against the Saints, and let me tell you something. Him and Len Ikitau, by far the best players on the field for the England team, for the English Premiership team. The Chiefs, and they did lose. I'm sorry for a bit of spoilers. They did lose to the Saints. The Saints were a bit too fast on the edges. But it's the 2 outstanding players for the team consistently throughout the season, Tom Hooper and Len Ikitau, and just having him back, he's big, he's tall, and just he's massive. He's absolutely massive out there. If you look at him, I think he might be a bit more than 118 at the moment. He's looking absolutely massive out there. So really good to see him back in the lock next to Jeremy Williams. Coming in at number 6 in the blindside flanker, I've got Rob Valentini. Just again, physicality, good ball carry, and he has been showing quite a bit of promise out of 6 jersey as well recently for the Wallabies. So I'm happy to have him here again at number 6. Coming number 7, Fraser McWright, who's been also just outstanding for the Reds. It's probably the best open side flanker, by far best open side flanker, I think, in the Australian side, to say the least. And even amongst the Kiwis, I will rank him even at the top there. I'm not even sure if any of the Kiwis can be. It's quite at the same number of turnovers that maybe Duplet, Karefi, maybe Karefi's up there, but the amount of work that Fraser McWright do at the breakdown is quite extraordinary, quite good there. I'm quite happy with him here. And finally, King Wilson, the greatest number 8 I have ever seen. The second playmaker for the Wallabies as well, and that's not a joke. He is absolutely outstanding. So yeah, King Wilson comes in at number 8. Hands down. Look at that smile. How can you not love this man? Look at that cheeky smile. Anyway, moving on. So here's where my selections. I want to reward players who've done well over the season. Kalani Thomas, for me, has been... So I want to explain this a little bit, right? So as the number 9, if you were to compare him with Lonergan, you would say that Lonergan has more work rates, and he does... Like, he carries the team a little bit more. He asserts his influence a little bit more in the players around him, Lonergan. But in my opinion, the most important part for a number 9, especially for like the setup that we have at the Wallabies with so much danger out wide, it's about enabling the players around him more than just asserting your own influence over the players around him, if that makes any sense. So Lonergan is almost like a leader out there, whereas Kalani Thomas is more like a support. right? As a supporting player. And I think as a supporting player is more important out of the 9 based on the backline that we've got. You actually don't want someone to dictate the game at 9 too much because you will take away the opportunities out wide. So for that reason, and I do think that Thomas had an outstanding season for the Reds. I have him at number 9. And in fact, the way that he runs the ball around the rocks, his vision around the rocks is just amazing as well. So, and in addition to his ability to enable the players around him, I think his mind starting number 9, and he can argue with me for McDermott. I think McDermott has been injured a little bit and hasn't quite found his footing yet. I think he's my starting number 9. Let me know your thoughts there. Coming in at number 10, I've got Donaldson, probably by hands down the best number 10 in Super Rugby, in my opinion. The goal kicking, the kicking game, the decision making, the clarity. I've watched him closely when he played the Waratahs. He decides how the kicking game goes. It's just the way that he manages, the way he's picked out some of the weak players that that they wanted to put the high ball to. I think was quite good. I do think that overall, like in terms of a solid, I do think that if you want someone who spices the game up a bit more, maybe you could argue for Carter Gordon, but just the fact that Carter Gordon can't kick goals, I think Donaldson almost gets the guaranteed nod here at number 10 jersey. And if you're gonna say Meredith, I mean, I'm sorry. Have been watching Super Rugby recently? So Ben Donaldson gives me a number 10. Coming number 11, I think by far the most dominant, winger in Australia, maybe outside of Jorgensen, maybe not. Is Dylan Peach. He's so good under the high ball. The breakdown as well. He hits it hard. Just everything this guy does, the pressure, and just understanding how the kicking game is going to go and how he needs to apply pressure following through that kicking game. I think is just great. Like I remember him playing against the Waratahs on the wing, on the left wing. Like every time the high ball went up, he's got it back. He had more recoveries than Zach Lomax. So for me, I think he's a no-brainer. A number 11 for me for Dylan Peach. Coming number 12, Len Nikitau. Like I already talked about him. He's outstanding in the Premiership. The back line basically relies on him to create a lot of the stuff, and just his individual strength and talent, and in that Chiefs backline in the UK was just outstanding. And the team heavily the Exeter Chiefs heavily relies on him to have a good game to actually deliver some of the results that they had throughout the season, and he's consistently doing really, really well. Like literally, I've watched games where the Exeter was just doing like literally nothing, and they just gave the ball to him, and then immediately something happens, like tries being scored. Right, it's just that absurdly good. Len Nikitau. So really, really, really happy to see him back. And then Joseph Akususwali'i for me will be at number 13 once again, because we really don't have that many options at 13, to be honest. You wanted to, unless you want to put another winger out at 13, Josh Fluke is great, but I just think that under the high ball, the speed, especially the last few rounds, Swali'i showed. Well, I think the problem with Swali'i is not that he obviously has been injured, but because I think the players around him are not enabling him. I think that in the last couple of rounds, when they did enable him, and we saw how the Wallabies enables him, definitely can deliver. Yeah, definitely is outstanding pick here at outside center. Next up, we've got Corey Toole. Here's another guy I want to reward him for his outstanding season. Now, the Brumbies has been absolutely atrocious, especially the games near the end of the season. Just embarrassing. And the only man consistently tried his heart out to pull the game back, and just individually tried scoring despite his team doing absolutely horrendously, is Corey Toole. And it's just kind of like what I talk about with Salakaia-Loto as well. You want players that can just step up when things are down, and they're not going to be affected by the players underperforming around them. And I think Corey Toole showed me a lot of ticker, a lot of heart, and I want to give him an opportunity here at number 14. And people are going to say he's not good at catching the ball, whatnot. I don't care. I wanted to see players being rewarded for their efforts and for their desire and determination to be something. So I have Corey 2 here ahead of, albeit a lot of pretty big selections as well. Ahead of Daugunu, ahead of Yeah, ahead of quite a few other pretty decent players. So um, yeah. So as a result of Corey Tool at number 14, I have Max Jorgensen at number 15 because the other selection for number 14 will be Jorgensen, but at the moment, the other option will be Jock Campbell because I want to reward Corey Tool. I was gonna put Jock Campbell. So ideally, you probably put Jock Campbell at fullback and Jorgo at 14. But because I want to reward Corey Tool, I have Tool at 14. So Jorgo goes to 15. Jock Campbell and Tom Wright gets dropped out. Tom Wright hasn't performed, in my opinion, since he returned. He looked completely lost and disconnected with his team. A lot of the times for the Brumbies, and when things got tough and big names like him need to step up, and he just didn't. He didn't really step up. Unlike Corey Toole, who actually made a difference. I don't think Tom Wright made a difference when things got tough. Campbell, unfortunately, in this setup gets dropped out, but I completely, if you think that Corey Toole not quite there, completely can see you put Jogo at 14, and then Campbell gets moved into 15 here will be the other option. But for me, I'm going with Max Jorgensen. This is at 15. He's being very good for the Waratahs at the 15 jersey, and just that utility that he brings, a kicking game, and that just that threat of counter-attacking, I think is a little bit better than Campbell. The counter-attacking ability there for Max Jorgensen. So I have him at number 15 for the Wallabies. Coming in at number 16, we have Josh Nasser, and it's interesting how Fezler's not selected. I was thinking about Billy Pollard, but the lineouts has been just so horrendous for the Brumbies. Yeah, just it is probably Nonigan that was probably made it worse, but it just hasn't really impressed me at all. The lineouts for the just the lineout more setup as well. It just really hasn't worked all season. So for me, I think Nasser gets the nod at number 16 for the reserve hooker. Aiden Ross comes in at number 17 for the loose head prop ahead of Jem Slipper. Here's the thing with Jem Slipper. Every time I watch, you can tell me if you disagree. Every time I watch him play, I feel like he look like he's gonna get injured, and I just don't want it to have a risk where he's out there 40 minutes to replace an injury. Maybe Angus Bell has a toe problem or something, and then he gets out there and gets injured immediately, and then suddenly the game is done. I just want yeah. Is it just me, or he look like he's gonna get injured almost all the time when he's playing for the Brumbies? So I just want, and also just want to have someone that has a bit more longevity in terms of their career as well. So I've gone with Aiden Ross here at number 17 for the loose head prop. And number 18, Tanana Tupou, coming back from France. And just always excited to see him play as an impact player off the bench. He's just being always his. And so Tupou is one of the players. He will step up for big matches. And I think that, to every now and then, I think, it will be good to put him in the starting jersey. Just have him to go swap him around between start and the finisher. Just to keep things freshen up, because he, in the bigger matches, maybe against England or something, maybe even against Ireland, you will have him at a start, and then with other games and games that are a bit, maybe not like against Italy or something, or maybe something that's not quite as big of a headline match, you can put him on the bench. But yeah, here's me selecting him ahead of Nongor in the number 18 jersey. I think Nongor's pretty close to for that. Coming in at number 19, we got Carlo Tazzano, who's been just really, really energetic. Just that he's just always brings energy, and that's exactly what you want as an impact player off the bench. Coming in at number 20, is Miles Amatasero. I wanted to reward younger players, just some mongrel again. Same logic as Tazzano, just mongrel and youth and energy coming off the bench. This guy, I think he has quite a big future for the Wallabies. He does have a bit of a temper issue, which I like. I think that sort of mongrel, that sort of that sort of energy is what you wanted to bring, and just really hone that, channel that energy into the right areas is that's going to be really, really good for him. Coming number 21, I got Ryan Lonergan. Again, just come up if things aren't going okay, to come up off the bench to spice things up, to change it have a different mindset and different energy off the bench. I think it's really, really good for Ryan Nottingham. Also, if if Donaldson gets hurt, Nottingham has to come on as a kicker as well. So so it's just having he need him on the bench for just the kicking duty as well. So coming at number 22, it's Carter Gordon. Again, just to change things up, to spice things up. If the games are tight, you need to roll the dice at the end. I think Carter Gordon will come on and bring a bit more carry game and bit more, just a bit more aggression. But I do think that the overall structure of play is not quite polished enough to be a start, to be honest with you. So I have him on the bench, and just the fact that he doesn't want to kick goals makes it the selection a little bit more awkward. So he has to be paired up with Ryan Lonergan as a result of that. And finally, number 23, there's a few options here. You got Jock Campbell, you got Fluke, you got Filippo Delgunu. I'm almost tempted to put Josh Fluke here, to be honest with you, because you do need a cover for center. So if Ikitau or Swali gets hurt, you need someone to be able to cover center. And Josh Fluke can cover center. Delgunu can cover center. I just think that Delgunu maybe pack a bit more punch off the bench. But yeah, this is very close. It's either Delgunu or Josh Fluke. I think I've gone for Delgunu because I feel like he will make a bit more impact if you were, because I do imagine the Wallabies be behind. Especially against some of the big games, and I do want people to come onto the field and just inject more energy. And I think in that logic, I think Delgunu, same with Tizano, Delgunu, and Tupou, Carter Gordon, all of these players are like brings more energy and more spice off the bench, and that's the idea I have here. Whereas Josh Fluke is just an absolute solid selection for a cover for cover for insights for a center, but I wanted to have extra energy coming off the bench, so I have gone with Delgunu here. And also Delgunu can go with wing, so if Corey Toole is somehow struggling, I can put him at wing there at number 14 as a winger there as well. So I just have that extra bit of dynamic there, whereas I really, if Fluke comes on, you put Jogu at 14. I don't know if Fluke can cover the fullback, so in that case you have to put Campbell here. But yeah, it is. I think Delgunu just covers a little bit more there as well, ahead of Josh Fluke. And that is my 23, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And have a good one. I'll see you guys later for the news this week. Cheers.